this is the golf meeting of October 24th. Chairman Goulart cannot make the meeting, I will chair the meeting. Someone call the meeting to order.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes of September 5th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from October 5th, September 5th.
Motion by John, second by Bob, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, the agenda for today, I have a list of items that I will try to work my way through. First one on the agenda is FY 2020 results year to date. In your package, it's a handout, page 3. It shows the revenue plan for July through September is $633,700. Actual July through September, $687,400. So we're roughly $53,700 ahead of plan. In October, the plan was $122,000. Dana, how are we doing through October 24th?
We broke through, we're at one, when I just left, I printed this before, I looked at it just before I left. We're at 121, right now.
All right. What's your
So-
projection?
Well, from here, last year, we did 13,000, from here now to the end of the month. So, I would say we should probably book another 13,000, hopefully if the weather cooperates.
So even with things that are so-so, we probably do another 10 grand
Yeah.
above plan. So it
Yeah,
looks like,
conservatively speaking, 10, yes.
right, so it looks like
We'll match that, right?
through October, we'll be roughly 63,000 or so ahead of plan. Very good results so far. Second on the agenda, golf committee powers and authority. What I'd like to do is table this until we get a full committee member until the Chairman Goulart is available. Make sense?
Yep.
Motion,
I'll make a motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Second on the, next on the agenda is the construction debt payoff plan. I have a handout given to everyone. At our last meeting, I supplied a list which shows how we can achieve paying off the debt in 2028. One of the issues with that is the plan I proposed draw down cash flow to the point where in FY 26 we're down to like $4,000 cash reserve. So I took another look at it, and basically what I did is, with the 3 goals in mind, first one is to pay off the debt 2028. Second one's to make sure we can finance the mowing equipment so we can generate the revenue to make that payoff in 2028. And the third one is to maintain a strong cash flow and to be in a position to where we can begin to put together the construction of the clubhouse. The design work and everything, somewhere around the FY 2026. So what I have before you is a proposal. The assumptions are that labor expenses increases 2%, non-labor expenses increases 2%. Revenue maintained at the 2019 level, which is 1,493,000. The construction debt ends in FY '20, and right now there's no proposed indirect costs. We're going to do that by basically staggering the timing of the purchase of equipment. And the proposal is in FY, you can see going down, the first lease is one rough mower and one fairway mower in FY '21. And then to make another purchase of one mower in FY '23 at roughly $24,600 per year. And then a year later to purchase 5 greens mowers and a sprayer roughly estimated to be about $39,600. When you do that, cash flow through FY '19 is roughly $526,000, and it is maintained at a minimum of $500,000 through FY '26. In FY '27, it stays at $590,000, and once the debt is paid off, cash flow continues to increase. Any comments, questions? What I'm looking to do is to get approval from the committee to move forward with this. You can see, because I've already got notification that we're starting the FY '21 budget. And part of this deal is for us to begin the leasing of one rough mower and one fairway mower, starting in 2021. So what I need to do is we get an agreement amongst us to go forward, present this to the Board of Selectmen, get their buy-in, present it to the Finance Committee, get their buy-in, and then start to work on the FY '21 budget. And through my discussion with Steve, Manny, myself and Steve, he's looking to bring the fairway mower and the rough mower on board roughly in April if we can do it. If we do that, we can forego all the repairs of the fairway mower that's in pretty rough.
No, the two of, actually, both pieces of equipment that would require repairs in the winter, we'd forego the repairs on the two of them.
So if we can get that buy-in, get the 5-year lease, I have at the end of your package, the cost of the fairway mower and the rough mower.
When we traded in the old ones?
We're trying to figure out
yeah.
what to do with those two. Right now,
Could the town use them in place that we could?
we need to figure out. One of the things I would bring forward to the Board of Selectmen, I guess, is to declare them both as surplus inventory, and then to decide how to dispose of them. Steve seems to think they're worth a lot of money, so.
Yeah.
Well, the problem being that the equipment distributors, given their condition and age, aren't really going to give you anything for them because basically they're going to sit in their lot and they're not going to move them. I think our best bet is some form of auction or direct sale. Now, as Ed indicated, you could. Before we do anything, we need to have them declared surplus because, you know, but we can't do anything ourselves because it's basically owned by the town. So once that is done, then we could either you could trade them to, for instance, you could trade them to Turf Products. What Turf Products would do is they would take them to auction. If somebody bid on them and bought them, as long as it was in excess of $100, then you would get whatever that money was back. Turf Products would charge you $100 per piece of equipment to pick them up, transport them, and so on. And, so you'd have to see what the equipment bought. I mean, there are some options. I mean, the rough mower, I mean, it needs some work, but if it were in a circumstance which wasn't as demanding as ours, in that it would be operating, you know, right now it's operating 4 or 5 hours a day. You know, it might have an option for other departments in town, I don't know. But it might have an option for other town entities that aren't necessarily departments, such as the folks who run the soccer program, for instance, or the baseball fields over there. I don't know. You know, we could, you know, if it did stay within the town, we could certainly assist in the, you know, in the servicing and repair if it had any issues, but obviously they would be owning the parts and storage and all those good things.
I got a question. What's the brand that we're looking at?
You're looking at Toro.
Toro?
Toro, Turf Products is a distributor of
Okay.
Toro ground turf equipment.
Okay.
The item you see listed at the top where it says Groundsmaster 4500D, that's the rough mower, and the total prices, you see with the award and the extension, beneath the actual name of the piece of the equipment are the additional things coming on it besides the basic unit, which is the universal sunshade, four-wheel drive, flow diverter kit, because it is a four-wheel drive machine. And then the Realmaster 3555D is the fairway mower, and it includes those items listed below it, which are basically added to what they call the traction unit, which is the tractor.
So what do we think of the plan? I reviewed it briefly with Julie, the temporary interim town administrator, and seems to think it's a good plan. Reserves are cash reserves as much as possible, spreads out the payments, and the key thing is being able to achieve the revenue goal. Obviously, if we don't make revenue anytime along this path, we need to regroup and we need to come up with alternative plans. How's the finance committee?
Sounds good, as long as the weather holds out.
So I can't be too much about it.
I buy into this, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Like you said, unless something happens where we have to regroup.
Well, we gotta watch, we watch it every month, so.
Well,
Yeah, but where do you regroup? I mean, once you own 2023, then you're regrouping on 2024.
In 2025.
Yep.
Every time. So we need a motion to declare, to accept this business, basically a business plan. Don't all speak up at once.
Yeah.
John,
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
David, all in favor?
Aye.
And we need to declare surplus, assuming we go off for the 5-year lease, we need to declare surplus. Dane, Steve, do you have the name of those?
Excuse me, individual items.
Yep.
One item would be it's Jacobson fairway mower,
Okay,
and the other item is the Toro. It is a 4500D. It's the same equipment, piece of equipment we're getting, but this is the one. This is the older of the two units, which I believe was circa 2006 when we bought it. I can check here while we're going.
so it's been around for a while.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, how old is the other one?
2010, I believe.
I was gonna say going on 8 years.
Yeah, well, 9 years, yeah, 10 years.
10 cutting, or 9 cutting years, I believe.
Motion,
I think I heard John
We had one, yeah, John. Yeah.
John.
John's the motion man. I'll make a motion.
second,
I'll second
all in favor?
it. Aye.
Very good. I will make plans, I already have the Board of Selectmen on their November 24th agenda. I will speak to them about it.
Yeah, that was 2006, it's 13 years old, or thereabouts, that we've had it.
Wow. What do you think, so, just out of curiosity, in your opinion, what do you think something like that is worth?
I would say, I would
Okay,
say
wait,
probably that rough mower, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, to the right person, between $2,000 to $5,000.
Okay, what about the
But
other one?
the fairway mower,
Yeah.
again, that one will be somewhat less because all the reels need to be replaced. So the person, if the person were to use it for some, obviously for its intended use and not part it out, then they'd be spending, probably $2,500.
What, Steve, what
$3,000
like a farm be able to use something, if they convert it, just to,
Well, I mean, it all depends on the individual. Somebody might look at it and say, okay, I can get a cheap diesel engine for
Right.
something. Somebody else might look at that fairway mower like I was looking at it, if I had the storage space. I'd like to keep it and put a set of rollers on it and take the reels off. That way, if we wanted to roll fairways, we had a roller.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but it's better than nothing.
Right.
For knocking off due reduction dollar spot.
How much would it cost to convert that over?
Well, you're probably talking about $3,000 in change for the rollers. Right now, I'm waiting for someone to give me a price back. The other thing that you could put on it, which would be somewhat less, probably a little bit less expensive, are brushes. We do have a worm casting problem in the spring and the fall on a couple fairways. We could use a set of brushes on a unit to basically break them apart when they dry out in the afternoon, so the next day when we go to cut. So it has some utility that way. And the other, the rough mower, somebody, someone who has, someone who has an area to cut, that machine, for instance, if you're cutting a full-size soccer field, that machine would probably take, 15, 20 minutes at the most to cut it, because of the width of its cut.
Yeah.
And you can adjust its cut down to, 1 3/4 up to 3 or 4 inches. So it would be, if it wasn't getting significant use, then it would be, it might be worth that amount to somebody for that particular.
So you're looking at
Yeah, soccer fields and all that.
You're looking to get a soccer field, maybe cut once or twice a week, the most.
Yeah,
The most.
depending, it depends on when your game
the
schedule is and how your
baseball is-
clippings are going, because
Yeah.
the one problem with the soccer fields, as with any other athletic field, you don't want a significant amount of clippings, so you're probably gonna wanna be out there 2 times a week, so you can get that, unless you're gonna blow them off or pick them up, then that adds labor costs and all the rest, so.
Heard Attleboro's looking for something.
Although that machine, if you were to go backwards,
Obviously, you're looking for the 5,000 on that, from that town.
We can drop it to $499.9
like the car dealers do, $4.99.
and $100 to deliver it. I'll pick it up.
I'll hook the trailer up to your car.
Sold!
The only thing we agreed to with Steve is that we're not gonna build another maintenance building to house this
Oh, jeez.
used equipment. So we need to find an outlet, an agreeable outlet for this equipment. All right, also, things have been going on. Mamie and I continue to meet on a bi-weekly basis, one with Dana, one with Steve, and we have a lot of things going in motion right now. And one of the things that's happened last week was we did delay this meeting from the 17th to today. was the staging area for outings. So we had a window of opportunity where DPW can assist us in moving some dirt around, putting some asphalt down. And if you've been over by the clubhouse, you can see that we're most of the way through staging an area so we can set up outing carts before the outings. And that should be completed.
I believe Dan said he'd be back unless he had any issues with what he was doing with today. He said he'd be back tomorrow. And I think probably what he said he's going to, if he can, he's going to try to, was going to try to blacktop that one area that he's working on right now. And then the circle itself isn't that difficult a job, and he may even get to that tomorrow. His biggest task right now is just to set the curbing. Once the curbing's set, then everything else should go smoothly.
And I bring this up only because this is an area that, from a cost standpoint, will be applicable to the town meeting, $150,000. So that item will be using expense that, including, I reviewed the article just this afternoon. It also had covered tent purchases, so we had talked about taking that out of capital. We may be taking it out of the special article.
What's that, $6,000?
It was 8,
8 or 9.
close to 9, 8
Yeah,
change.
close to 9, right. Other things we got going on, we've got the gazebo needs to be lifted and a foundation poured for the gazebo before it rots out entirely. With that, we had to remove 2 trees. Steve did get permission to cut the trees down.
Good man.
He also asked for permission to cut a tree down by the car path on the way to the 10th hole because it's somewhat affecting the practice green, and we agreed to do that also.
It was actually that worked out well, because once you got into the upper portion of the tree, a good portion of it was rotten inside the branches
So
themselves.
they come
So
down and
Go ahead.
if we had one of those little, was it a year or 2 ago, we had one of those little quick little hurricanes,
Yeah.
thunderbursts that came through, that one was going to probably go in that. So.
The gazebo, what's the condition of that? Is it a
It's in
mess?
relatively
No,
it's
put a
not
new roof on it
it's
last
not-
year.
it's in
The
relatively
reason
good shape.
I'm asking is because I believe the school is now getting into their shed projects.
Boy, I need the shed.
we got,
Well, you know what?
we need to replace one, right?
Well,
Well, that metal one, yeah.
Yes.
it's-
so what you gotta do is you get in touch with Kathy, since she uses the course, I'm no longer,
Yep,
and ask her about
getting on the list.
seeing the superintendent about getting a shed built and delivered and set up. Don't let them get away with it, us having to go get it, 'cause they can provide the situation. Or
The,
build it, I don't think they'll build it on site because they're not building real big ones like the ball shed.
Right.
But something like you have where the cans and all that other stuff are. Or the other thing is possibly, if the gazebo needs repair, they could probably come out and.
Well, that was the thing I was going to say. What the gazebo does needs to be painted, and
Yeah.
as Ed said, it needs to get up off the ground.
Yeah.
And there's a few things on there that are loose that need to be resecured. So it needs some general maintenance.
Well-
it needs a cleaning and painting, and then it'll be fine.
So I think this winter, from what I understand, is that they're gonna build multiple sheds, so get in there quickly, get us in there and see where it goes from
I'll
there.
email it tonight.
All right, and as far as the painting goes, she could set somebody up with that too, even if it's the kids painting the thing. You're looking at painting something, so we get something back from that for them using the course.
Good. Walk behind brush cutter. This is an item that me and myself and Steve been talking about. We don't really have a walk behind brush cutter that could efficiently remove the brush around the areas in and to clear down most of the brush over the winter area. Now, Steve, we talked about that before, Steve estimated a cost of about $3,000.
Yeah, well, what we do now, what we use now is we use a brush saw, which,
That's off the tractor.
no, that's off my shoulders.
Okay.
I know what
This
you
that
mean,
kind,
yeah,
so it takes a little bit longer, yeah, but there are two, there's basically three sources. In each one, there are two machines, these quotes from Norfolk Power Equipment. There's the Little Wander, it's a 26-inch width brush cutter, and a Billy Goat, which is also a 26-inch brush cutter. It's a walk behind, similar engines, similar engine size. The Little Wander is 3144, and the Billy Goat is 3250.
Town got a brand new machine, and they clear all the sides of the roads with.
Oh, that's off
Yeah,
the
that's that
tractor.
thing that goes off the arm of the tractor.
Yeah. That wouldn't work?
Well, it would work in some circumstances, like the right side of the 16th tee, but I mean, in other areas like along the wood lines, I mean, I don't, in the areas that we cut out by the 13th hole, I don't really think it would, you could use it because you'd have to, I don't know how you would position it, you couldn't position it as a regular
That thing
mower.
tears stuff too.
And it
doesn't-
rips the snot out of
Yeah,
stuff.
it
was
looks
It's
like,
everywhere.
yes, they come by my house and all the stuff's in my lawn. Like, I call them up, hey, you cut this stuff from the lot, empty lot, two houses over, and it's all in my lawn.
Well, the third item, the third one, is, I'm sure most people are familiar with the DR Power line of equipment. You possibly can see them on TV with commercials and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
The DR Pro Series is a 20 horsepower engine, which is a larger engine, and it's a 30-inch width of cut as opposed to a 26. We could purchase something like that from one of our existing suppliers, and that was, it cost $3,200. Although the DR Pro at that size does have an added advantage, is that you can put different attachments on it. You could put a snowblower on the front. They have, I wouldn't recommend getting the little chipper because we have the chipper, we don't need the little chipper. The plow, but the snowblower, snow thrower would come in handy, so you have the option in the future of putting an attachment to it. And the snow thrower attachment itself was about $1,000. So, but they're all comparatively priced, although the DR has a bigger engine for about that was $3,200 for just the brush cutter, and that was through one of our local distributors in Wareham. So those are the three items. I mean, if I were to go out and buy one just because of its versatility and its power, I would probably pick the DR just because it's a little bit bigger. You can see now the little YouTube videos that they have on the maneuverability. It actually kind of steers like a bulldozer. You pull one handle and that tire stops and the other tire turns.
Oh,
so you don't have to muscle it as much as some others.
That's interesting.
The only thing that it's missing that would be nice to have is some of the machines have guards that fit across where your hands go, because if you're in tall enough brush and briars, if you don't have the guard, it kind of rips up your hands, so you need a good pair of gloves, basically. But other than that, it looked like a good machine.
Any thoughts?
Go for it.
We've been talking about it for a couple of years now, so
Yeah.
only $3,000 not to look at it.
Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, what do you know?
Second.
What do you know about?
So we'll go with the DR for 3,200?
What's the attachment for the snow blower run?
The attachment for the snow blowers, they have it on sale now for $899, but it's normally $1,000, so I put $1,000 down. But it's a wide, the snow blower is about this wide. It's nice. I mean, right now we shovel out around through the building so we can get material far enough away so we can use the backhoe to plow with it. But that would allow us to do, to do that, but also to do portions of this lower parking lot while the backhoe's trying to do the entrance. Sometimes, I mean, the DPW comes down and helps, but a lot of times, they're busy out on regular roads when we're coming in here in the morning. And so we clean out around the entire building anyway, because there's too many things there that would get in their way with their size plows. I mean, the gas pump, the concrete sits up a little bit, so you have to be careful of that around the back of the building and around the storage containers, so it'll make it easier.
Total cost is,
Well, the DR would be 32, and if you added you'd be looking probably at 41, because they said it was on sale. I can call Stearns and ask them, but he said, that they would honor those prices, so it was 32 and 9 is 41. I'd say 41 and change, because, they know.
I'm okay with that.
Where you want?
There you go.
sold.
We'll have to wait till next year. Just hope it snows like
Listen, don't put anything else on your Christmas list.
Yes.
That's not coming.
Christmas is over. It just ended.
It's not my Christmas list. I still have my little 26-inch one at home.
Yeah,
It takes me 3 hours to do my
I
driveway
got
because I have
an
two.
orange one with a handle.
Oh, yeah.
I used to have, son number 1 and daughter number 1, but that doesn't work anymore.
Next one on the list is forward tees, number 9, 13, and 14. One of the effort is to make it more enjoyable for the less skilled golfers. And to do that, we've been talking about forward tees. And meeting with Dana and Steve, we made a decision to move forward. We're gonna move tees, build tees for hole number 9, number 13, number 14. To move them approximately 100 yards more forward on number 9 and number 14, and roughly 80 yards forward on number 13. Steve has agreed to attempt to build those tees in-house and hopefully to get that done and sorted by this fall. So it'll be in place for the springtime. Dana has indicated that our current scorecard situation is such that he needs to order more scorecards. And we're working with Dana to get a mock-up of the new scorecards with the slope and the rating for the new hole, more forward holes. And also include his senior tee setup. And hopefully that will come together. The MGA said they can get that done for us.
Yeah, right now they'll just do it on distances, and then once they're in, they'll come in and
Measure.
measure it for
Yeah.
slope and rating.
Dana, Isaac, Steve, Kevin, myself, and Manny identified the location of those forward tees. And we're just waiting to get the equipment from DPW and to start the work, right, Steve?
Well, I hope to get started on Monday. We're going to do 13 and 14 first. We're going to lay out where it's going to go, strip the sod out, see if we can get it cut appropriate so we can use it somewhere else. So we'll have to prep the area where it's going to go, cut it out and put it in that area. And then it's basically spreading the mix, leveling it. The tee itself is actually going to sit up. It's only going to sit up about 5 or 6 inches above the ground, but it'll be a flat, teeing surface, and it'll be cut down to tee
Well-identified
height.
tee, so.
Yeah, and
Alright, so where's number 9?
number 9 is on the right-hand side, just above that fairway, the short fairway
After the
bunker.
bunker.
Before it.
Above it.
Oh,
After it, right
After,
after the
that's what I
bunker,
meant, yeah.
we're going to reshape the edge of the fairway somewhat,
Yeah.
and we're going to put that tee up there on that side, right adjacent to the car
How
path.
far from that bunker?
It's gonna be at most 5 to 10 feet forward of it. Actually, we're going to cut into that bunker slope and extend it out to create the teeing
All
surface.
right, so my question is, what happens, there'll be so you're going up about that much?
Yeah, 5 to 6 inches in root zone.
All right. So you're in that bunker, what's the probability of you smacking that tee?
There isn't any, because the bunker itself, if you
know
look
what
at
I mean?
it,
Because there's
if you look at it
there's
in
not
plan
much
view,
of a lip there,
the
no.
bunker is
No.
flat,
No, I don't go in there.
and then it comes up this way, and then
I'm
it
just
actually
curious.
breaks down.
Yeah.
What we're doing is coming in here,
Oh, okay.
taking this height, shooting
Oh,
it
all right.
across there.
Okay.
So if they hit the lip, they're not hitting anything on the tee, they're hitting the existing lip.
Okay.
So we'll just cut back to
And
that.
keep the tee, forward tee close to the car path tees.
Okay. All right, what about 13?
13 is on the right-hand side of the hole. I believe we said 85 yards off the front of the existing green tee. So it's going to be right off the fairway on the right-hand side of the rough.
On the left.
Right.
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 We thought about the left, but we thought that might be in more danger from the 12th tee than
12th
you
tee.
might
All
want.
right, so it's 13. So you're in the rough.
Yeah, if you're on the right-hand side of the 13th hole, if you go down that side,
Yeah.
just about where you get to the edge of the
Top path?
wood line,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a mound.
Yeah.
It's just short of that mound. I don't know exactly how many yards, but
All right, so basically that, just thinking that, that faces more toward, you'd have to face it more towards.
well, we'll angle it
fairway,
towards the fairway.
Because where
green,
it's set, it
yeah.
would, yeah.
You're gonna have to cock it a little
Yeah,
bit,
okay.
and point it in the right
And
direction.
then the
That's
last one,
something that Isaac and I were discussing on the shaping of it, is shouldn't we just shape it the way the other ones are shaped and do what we do with the tee boxes and just turn the tee boxes, angle the tee boxes so it looks uniform with the current
The tee
current
marker.
program? So if you have one tee box that's faced this way, the other one's faced this way, this one's faced this way, and then you're gonna go down the fairway and you're gonna have one that's faced this way?
Well, it probably won't be that
I know,
drastic.
but
I don't know if
he
you're going to.
Isaac we're discussing, he goes, it would look better if you just faced it the same way that all the other ones were, and then when you put the markers, then just do what you normally do on like the first tee, just kick it a little bit, or wherever you need to.
Well, they actually, the first tee, they should have pointed towards the first hole instead of the 18th. I
Right.
don't know what the guy
I
was
know.
doing when he was shaping it, but we'll go out there and look at it. If it looks better that way, then of course we can do it that way. I mean, if it's
That
too
hole,
bad.
that hole there, I mean, if you go too far to the right,
I mean, you really have to make a adjustment on number 13, right?
Yeah, well, it's,
So if you pull out more, I don't know if that has an issue there, you know, as far as hitting.
well, I
don't
looked at the spots that were requested. I didn't choose the
It's
spots.
just, you know, as bad as, you know, being on the left side would be because of the
Dangerous.
situation, yeah, the angle's a lot better, but yeah.
Hey, while we were there looking at it, two guys were coming into the fairway,
Oh, I know.
we
Well,
were standing to play
yeah,
the
you're
ball.
right, because, I mean, people go into that fairway off
All
that tee
the
all
time.
the time.
Well, the other, and if I remember correctly, I think we had somebody hit there on that side from the 13th tee last year. No, they had the fire chief and everybody out here, but she got hit right in the noggin, I think.
All right, so.
And the car path again, car path's gonna be right near that tee, so.
All right, 14 is where?
14 is on the left-hand side of the hole, 120, Ed? 120 yards off the front of the existing tee, so that parks it short of that large bunker
Bunker.
on that side. Exactly how short?
All right, now my question would be, is it in line with that bunker?
It will be angled, so if you hit the ball straight from the center of the tee, it would go right over top of the bunker.
Okay,
If you wanna cut it off, you can go over the bunker.
okay,
If you don't,
You can go to the right, and you have plenty of fairway out that way.
okay.
I mean, if you want to, I mean, I can, kind of flag it out and you
No,
can go look at it.
I'm just curious of the angles and stuff, 'cause same thing with number 14, you're at that, just before that bunker. And then you got the pond. So the angle of that T is gotta
Yeah, you'd be
be,
playing it right into the pond.
It's a
yeah.
long
Yeah.
way for the pond, for anybody playing at forward tees.
I don't know, if you're before that bunker,
Yeah.
you're how many feet before the bunker, you think? Just, yards?
You're probably
40.
30, 35, 40 yards short of that bunker.
35 yards from the bunker, and you only have, Jesus, maybe another what, 120 to the water yards?
No, not that much.
Not even that much.
You probably have another 100 yards from the bunker itself if you were going directly straight at the
I'm
water.
just curious for the people that are gonna play that. I mean, that's kinda, it's a golf course, so there's trouble everywhere you go, but to make it a little more enjoyable, the last thing you wanna do is.
Within 15, the water's right there off the tee, anyway. You know what I mean, you're talking about.
Well, the thing is, no matter where you position or angle something,
Anybody playing
you're
with
going to
forward
have to.
tees isn't gonna make a lot, believe me.
I've seen you hit them, Mike.
Yeah, but I mean, the play on that, from that tee would be to the right,
Yeah,
to
well,
the
you
right
have-
side
yeah,
of the fairway
it's safe,
anyway.
it's
Because
safe.
that gives you a straight shot to the green,
Right.
possibly taking out the water on the right down by the hole anyway, so. But if you're hitting from that tee, you're
I
not
got
gonna
some
be down
balls
there
in
till
here,
2 or
believe
3
me.
shots, so.
Alright, I'm just curious for,
No.
All right, so that's in play,
Those are free.
pardon?
How do we, costs associated with those?
There's 144 tons of top mix going on those things to make 3 of them, at 2,000 square feet apiece,
That will come out of that special article too,
plus the sod, so.
so.
what's the estimate run per? Are they basically about the same size, every one of them?
Small.
Yeah, they're gonna be the same size, they may be
Right.
shaped somewhat differently to
But the
fit,
same
better
amount of
fit what they
material is
are.
gonna go basically into?
Yeah, I mean, the same amount of material, yeah, going into
Okay,
each one.
right, so
Like I
what,
said, it's about 144 tons of top mix, is 70, 20, 10, which is 5 tractor trailer loads.
and what's the estimate of cost for one?
Tractor trailer load of 70, 20, 10 is probably about, I don't know, it's my man is on vacation in Ireland, so I'm not quite sure of the price, but I'm guessing it's somewhere around $1,500 a trailer. Maybe a little bit more. It's 70, 20, 10 is 70 sand, 20 soil, and 10% peat.
So what I want, per tee box here, the total cost estimate.
I don't have that off the top of my head
Okay.
because the sod is, it's, I'm figuring you're probably going to spend, excluding, our labor, which is hours, but it's not direct cost. I'm figuring you're probably gonna spend somewhere maybe between around 4,000 a piece, maybe. It depends on the sod, because if I choose to get the sod in 4-foot rolls, they'll roll it out. There's a little added cost to that, but it's easier to get accomplished. And
Truck situation going out there, what's that look
well, the
like?
trucks are gonna have, you can't get a tractor trailer out there, so the trucks are going to have to, gonna get material ordered, sequentially, and we're going to have to take it out there.
Oh, okay.
And which means, just.
So you dump 13 and 14 in that cul-de-sac there?
Well, I don't know if I can do that. If I could do that, that would make it a lot easier.
Why,
I don't think so.
Why couldn't you do that with, I'm just asking, with Dan there, why,
I don't know. I'd have to,
Yeah.
I'll ask him tomorrow, but I don't know.
I think
That
see,
might be something you have to ask the police.
Well,
I
I mean,
don't know
it's,
if you
you
can.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you.
So you could
Yeah.
Depends on how long
Hey,
it's,
I don't want
yeah.
show the neighbor next door is like
Starts-
8 feet
Yeah.
high in a pile. of-
Well, see, the problem is, we have to move all that material with our Pronovos.
Yeah, well.
It takes me almost a day to move a tractor trailer, one day of straight running back and forth.
Number 9, I mean, you got not that long of a distance, but the other two, if it goes there, you have such a shorter distance with less damage to.
Oh, believe me, I know, I mean,
Alright.
but, you know, to load it, you're
Yeah.
going to be, you know, you're gonna have the Pronovost out in the street, loading it in the street, so.
Well, that's what
I'm just, I
DPW
don't know,
does,
you know, it's,
right?
I'm not, hey, if I was
never-
living in that house, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I'm not the
No,
one
I
living
mean,
there,
I
so.
wouldn't, yeah, well, you.
I don't know, if it's
This
okay.
is a town facility and we are doing something that
Well,
is
if it's, okay, if
beneficial.
it's, you know, if the police chief doesn't have an issue with it, and Dan doesn't, as long, I don't think he's, as they would, as long as they're not blocking anything.
Well, it's a dead end, so, I mean, it's a. All right, just curious, try to help you out.
I'd love to
there.
well, no, I mean, I had it, you know, a couple of years back, we talked about, you know, redoing that entrance and blacktop, I mean, then, because you could pull the truck in there and dump it down where we,
Yeah,
dump
right.
the extra plugs in the
Yeah.
water.
All right, okay.
We'll see if I can get it in there, you know, I'm more, it's gonna make our job a lot
Oh,
easier.
yeah, 100% easier.
I just wanna get, I mean, next week, the weather's a little bit suspect after Tuesday, so I don't want all that expensive material sitting out there getting soupy on the,
Exactly.
where it doesn't drain, so.
All right, I'm all set with that.
Thank you, John. Next on the list, bunker elimination. Hole number 1 on the left side, we did fill that in. It's been reseeded. Looks like it's coming in pretty good.
It's growing in good, yeah, as long as we keep golf cars, some guys can drive, I don't know what they're doing driving over there, but they're driving through it. But it's doing all right, I mean, it'll come in, you know, we pushed a little bit with fertilizer, and, you know, it'll fill in the spring.
Okay.
Next on bunker elimination was hole number 8, taking those 2 bunkers out. Manny and I agreed with discussion with Steve that the T's are #1 priority, so any bunker elimination will be on hold pending completion of the bunkers, the forward T's.
Yeah, all right.
We also have a comment from Isaac that several customers are complaining about stones in the bunkers on several holes.
Yeah.
I asked him to, I asked him to send me a list of those bunkers and we'll talk on priority of either eliminated bunkers or what the plan is with Steve.
Well, we can then do what we had done in the past, dig them out, put the line into the other one,
Right.
put the line and put
It's a
sand in.
matter of
Although
getting the
it's-
priority.
Yeah, it's, as
And
you
I
just
know.
mentioned, the
Yeah.
2 on 10,
Yeah,
the
the-
2 on 13. The 2 fairway ones on 13 are the ones that are the biggest issue right now.
It looks like
Well, I think 1 on
14
10
spaces
needs to
totally
go.
ripped
Well,
off.
Four-
the
to
one
go.
on 14 has
I've
to
been
the
out there in
bunker
a while,
on
I
the
saw it
left,
this week, so they-
13.
The one
Needs to
beyond,
go.
beyond the.
just falls apart, you can't get any roots in it, just
Slides on it.
slides right
I
in.
get
Clean
rid
it
of
up.
Yeah, I get rid of that too. You're right, leave the front one and.
The
Yeah.
Boston Blue photographer
Yeah,
was
we
taking
need-
pictures of it.
Yeah,
Ain't got over
no.
there.
Slope
On the other
it.
side.
So if you hit that, it's still gonna go somewhere where
Yeah,
you don't
right.
want it to, so.
All right, last, balloon payment on the cart lease. He had a discussion with Julie regarding the payment of the lease in the balloon.
Yeah, I spoke with Club Car, they submitted the paperwork a couple weeks ago, so it should be
With
there.
2 options, 2-year or a 3-year. But Julie seems to think that the paperwork for the 5-year lease might still be in place. And she'll have a consultation with a legal to find out what the situation is.
Oops.
Either way, the plan on paying for car pass is, I propose extending a 3-year lease of that balloon
on the
payment,
cards.
which is $77,000, so. And so I'll leave that in her hand to decide how best to do it. We just need to do it for FY21 budget team. And I'll get an answer on that. All right,
Yep, sounds good.
that's it.
All right.
Next meeting.
Yeah, so, get in touch with Kathy as soon as you can.
Give her a buzz, right like that.
I'm almost sure they start those right after Christmas. They'll be done by the spring. Thanksgiving Day, we can have turkey.
I'll cook.
No,
How's that? Steve, slaughter one of those birds out.
There was 5 of them. They're looking pretty healthy. They were out this morning.
Be a reading pleasure.
the floor looks pretty good in the men's room in the living
Yeah.
room.
Oh, is it in?
Very
Yeah,
good.
5-star.
Yeah?
We're taking reservations.
Oh, cool.
Next meeting,
You have something else to,
Oh, excellent.
I can get my fingers.
I got,
In November?
who's the guy you hired?
Who's the guy I hired?
Yeah.
His name is?
Yeah.
His name is Corey Nunes.
Okay.
see how that works.
Well, it's like any other hire. It works, it works.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't, it doesn't.
You're right, you're right, you're absolutely right.
He's young, enthusiastic, very polite, comes recommended family-wise from someone who works for us and someone who works at the DPW, so
As long as you're happy with him, that's the main thing, he does what you tell him.
we'll find out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because he's
You
gonna-
tell him, you're all set.
He's gonna be helping work on some of those tees next week if we get promising weather, so put him right to it.
You got the Mayflower and the, how that works out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
And
that
the
kid,
league, right?
we had that kid from, Exafarian?
Oh, yeah, this, Division 1.
Yeah,
They were out here?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was incredible. It was
Yeah.
fun to
Shot
watch.
72, I think.
Yeah, he was
He was 3 used.
Now that
minus 4 on the
3 or
ninth
4
hole.
under in the ninth hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was putting eagle 20 feet, but he missed it.
On what
Eagle
day?
on number 9.
From the bird.
Yeah, back.
That's a real.
Well, it's funny, Isaac requested, not Isaac, but the fellow who ran the tournament requested that we keep their distance somewhere in the neighborhood of
Yeah.
6,200.
Yeah.
So some of them were back, some of them were up, but.
Didn't affect that kid.
Well, a lot of those kids, I was sitting here in the parking lot watching them walk up to the clubhouse and I said, is this a basketball tournament or is it golf? Most of them are 6 foot, 6'2", they look like this, and they hit the ball about 300 yards.
I hope you put 18 over the trap way to the right.
Why, where you like it?
No, where it always is.
No, it wasn't because I was also requested not to make things too difficult.
Oh,
You just
come
play on the wrong day of the
Oh,
week.
yeah, right.
Yeah. When do I
Hey,
have to
come on, I mean, for someone, for
When do I
someone
have to
who
see
won,
to the
what?
front left?
Hey, for someone who, won the US Amateur and played in the US Open,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
shot a 72.
Yeah, so that's.
So it wasn't like it was real easy.
No.
Right.
No, you're right.
Because
And it was windy. That was
Yeah,
windy.
yeah, he could have ripped it up if it was too easy.
All right, when's our next?
Some of those things out there can be deceptive.
I have a problem with that windmill, the windmill.
John just gotta close his eyes and hit the ball. You're
Yeah,
much
you
better
swing a little
off.
harder, John. You swing a little harder.
So you swing as hard as some of them
No,
kids.
I
They must have
just
to change the ball.
get out of my
Oh.
car and the first thing I do and after I go in the clubhouse is look at where number 18 flag is and I shake my head.
See, you set yourself up
That's it. Oh, no,
from
not
the
again.
get-go.
Yeah.
Oh, I did have, before we adjourn, the building inspector requested to meet at some point in November, if anybody is interested, to review some ideas that he's preparing. So,
Regarding,
clubhouse layout or design, or just
Good,
the whole
excellent.
concept.
good,
He's just brainstorming at this point, but he was interested in requesting a meeting sometime in November. So when I get a hold of him and see what his dates are, I'll shoot them out to everybody and see who's available and who's interested.
next meeting. Pick a time, pick a good time, Dan.
John's warming up the motion
So
there.
it's then the 21st in 3 weeks, or?
Yeah, 7,
December
14, and
after that.
21, yeah.
All right, 21st. 4:30 here.
Yeah, let's hope that it's above 30, because we know we don't have any heat in here.
Well, we have heat, you just can't run it. Because if I turn that thing on during the meeting, you're not gonna hear a bloody thing.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Excellent.